What's up, guys? We have a three-game NBA slate for February 26th. The slate starts at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is 30 minutes later than usual, but it is only a three-game slate, so there's not really a lot to choose from. Starting off, point guard, raw points are going to be pretty important on this slate, and so Russell Westbrook is going to be my pick, 11K. I usually don't pay up for Westbrook usually, but it is only a three-game slate, so a guy that can get you a triple-double with a lot of upside. As we can see, he's really been above 55 for a lot of his recent games, and we know he has, all the upside in the world. This is a nice matchup against Denver. It's a high altitude game, high scoring game, but Westbrook, he's just one of those energy players. Just nothing can really stop him. So he's been, on a tear recently. Obviously, there's a double OT game in there, but Westbrook 11K on this slate he's the most expensive option, but he's rightfully so, rightfully priced, and definitely a guy that I'm gonna have in a lot of my lineups because you can definitely have the value to fit him in. And right away, I'll just put him at shooting guard is Damian Dotson, 4.4K. The Knicks should be without DeAndre Jordan again, and they're kind of running a short rotation actually recently. Orlando's actually been a pretty solid defensive team recently, but here Knicks are going to be at home. This is only actually a 6-point spread right now in favor of the Magic. Dotson has been playing some solid minutes recently, and Coach Fizdale has actually given him some praise. So it looks like Fizdale is definitely willing to give him the minutes. So we should see 30 plus minutes. But we never know with the Knicks rotation. But he seems like he's earned the trust and the confidence from his coach. So 4.4K price is a little bit up now, but he's been scoring 30, 40s, and that's going to be good for a ton of value. So 4.4K, three-game slate, nice option here for value to fit in Russell Westbrook. Next, I really like Paul Millsap, 6.2K against the OKC Thunder. Ever since Trey Lyles has missed the past two games, the third one being that he left from injury, I believe Millsap has been getting more minutes. He's been stepping into the starting role once again for Plumlee. And when you look at the rotation for the Nuggets, actually, what happens is Paul Millsap goes out close to the mid-late first quarter. Mason Plumlee checks in. They'll play double centers with Plumlee and Jokic. And then shortly after, Millsap will check back in for Jokic. So basically, they're staggering Millsap, Jokic, and Plumlee. So there's usually always going to be one guy on the court. And when it is only Jokic or Plumlee, like when it's only one center, they're really reluctant to go with a power forward that's not Paul Millsap. They really don't want to play Juancho Hernan-Gomez. He's just not been right recently. It's been like a few months now, actually, I think. Just he had an injury. It's been bothering him, and they said they might have shut him down, but they didn't. But he's just not really playing as well as we've seen him in the past. So he's not right, and that's why Paul Millsap has been playing a lot of these minutes. And just since Trey Lyles has been out, Millsap has really stepped up his play and the minutes that he's been getting. Also, he's been playing really well. OKC, they give up a lot of points to shooting guards and power forwards. So in this matchup, I think it's actually really good for Millsap. Obviously, Jokic is going to be the top play on this team, but Steven Adams is actually, as we all know, a tougher matchup. But it's Jokic. He's just, he's a stud, and he's going to be at home. Denver, as a team, pretty much everyone plays a lot better at home. Millsap and Jokic especially. Millsap 6.2K, still really affordable. And if you can't get Jokic, this is definitely the option to go with, especially if you're trying to get Russell Westbrook. 6.2K, Millsap, you're saving almost 4K from Jokic, and usually Millsap or Jokic has the good game. Last game, it was just an onslaught, so Denver, Millsap and Jokic, Millsap especially. But Jokic, I think he got around like 5K. 10K, yeah, he got to like 5K about. So he still did well, and Jokic was also in foul trouble in this game. But Paul Millsap, 6.2K, you're getting a lot of savings that you can use, especially on a short slate like this. So Millsap, one of my favorite plays. And if you want to play Jokic, I think you just play Jokic. You don't play Millsap and Jokic if you're into that. And then next, Kyrie Irving, 8.8K. Obviously, make sure that he plays, but usually in these important matchups against like a top contender, Kyrie Irving usually plays. So 8.8K is actually a really nice price. Definitely a tough matchup. Toronto is a very good defensive team, but Kyrie Irving, he steps up in all of these high leverage, just these spotlight games. And 8.8K actually is a really nice price because in the past when we've seen him against like the Warriors or something, he's been above 9K. And this is a guy that steps up. He knows what is going on. Obviously, in these tougher matchups, like Kyle Lowry, sure he's a great defender, but Kyrie, he's one of the most unguardable players in the game. He has crazy upside. He's actually been rebounding and getting a lot of defensive stats this year, which is obviously really nice, especially if he's not shooting that well. But we know the shot attempts are going to be there. He's going to take around 20 shots. He has really good upside, especially on 3 game slate. Once again, if you get Westbrook and Kyrie, which is what I'm going to be doing in a lot of my lineups, I think these guys can definitely get you like 60. Probably is almost a lock out of Westbrook, and he has the upside of like 80 plus. He's shown almost 90-point upside. Obviously, Denver's a pretty good defensive team, tough place to play in, but Westbrook has done it before in Denver, like in recent years. And so Westbrook, probably you can say like around 70. Kyrie, he gets a ceiling game. It could be over 60, but let's just say, it's around 60. You get 130 out of 2 players. Obviously, they're 2 expensive players here, but you have value to fit this in, and that's what I think makes playing these studs definitely a great option. Obviously, you can go with Paul George, but Paul George is only $600 cheaper, so I'd rather have Westbrook, who has a triple-double upside, and we know you can get a bonus here on DraftKings. So these are the 4 guys that I like the most. Other guys that I want to mention for just guards, I guess. Point guard Jamal Murray, 6K. I think you play Jamal or Jokic or Millsap. You don't really want to stack these guys. Obviously, it's a great game environment. Maybe you can try Murray and Millsap, but I was looking into the game log just the past years that when Millsap and Murray are playing together, usually they don't go off together, like regardless of any team. Like they just don't play. They both don't have massive games. So like when you're looking to like take down GBP, it doesn't really make sense because just based off of recent performances, recent game logs in the past year, Murray and Millsap, they don't really correlate with each other. So as I was building this lineup, I wanted to include Murray, but it didn't really make sense because just the evidence didn't really back it up. So I didn't want to say it, but if you're not playing Millsap, go ahead, play Jamal Murray. Westbrook, like this could easily be just a point guard against point guard duo. This could easily turn into that. And Murray's only 6K. He can get his minutes. Last game it was a blowout, so he only got 24 minutes, and he still got you 31.5, which is good enough for over 5x at 6K. Next is DJ Augustine. If you're trying to look for value, 4.1K here. This is a very nice matchup against the Knicks. Knicks don't play good defense at all. Isaiah Briscoe is out, but Jerry Grant pretty much just takes over that backup role, so it's not like DJ Augustine is going to get any extra minutes. And Nikola Vucevic is in a really great spot here, but I'd just rather pay 400 more to get to Jokic. But if I'm playing Millsap again, I probably would play Vucevic 10. And if you're playing Vucevic, Augustine, Vucevic, they correlate really well together, so you can definitely just take like Augustine if you can't afford Vucevic. This guy, he has the upside. We can see in his recent game logs. He's only 4.1K. The price actually went down for some reason, even though it's a way better matchup against the Knicks compared to last game against Toronto. And then Marcus Smart, 4.1K. He's not, like that flashy type of player. He's more of like that just get in your head, do the dirty work player. But he has upside just because of the defense stats that he's going to be able to accumulate, and we know that he can definitely get like double-digit shot attempts. He takes a lot of threes actually. Obviously, if he's on, then he's going to be a great play, get you in the 30s, and he should play 30-plus minutes because he's going to be needed here to guard Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard. He's just the best defender on the Celtics, and definitely they're going to put him out on the court to do his do his thing on defensive end. So Marcus Smart 4.1K, I really like. Danny Green 4K, another option. He's probably going to see 30 minutes here. In the past games against the Celtics, he's seen 30, 31, and 32 minutes. So this is a place where I think Danny Green can get there. 4K, obviously, if he gets his shots, and actually in the past 3 games when Danny Green has played the Celtics, he's been getting double-digit shots. So maybe it's just the defensive scheme that Boston's setting up to make Danny Green take the shots, but we know Danny Green is a knockdown 3-point shooter. He can get you rebounds. Obviously, he's a great defender too, so he can get you steal points, blocks. He's not gonna take a whole lot of shots, but we know if he starts making some threes, gets you that 3-point bonus, steals, rebounds. Definitely only needs 20 points to get to 5x at 4K. I really like that. If you're looking for Smart, Augustine, or Green, I think you take Smart. I like his upside more. I think Augustine and Green are more of the safer options, with Augustine being the better one, but again, Green you save it at $100. And then Jerry and Grant 3.5K or 3.4K. If you think this game maybe turns into a blowout, you can go there. Briscoe is going to be out, so Grant's probably going to play around like 20 minutes or so at least. And back when he was on the Bulls, he showed really great upside in the past, and he's not going to play as many minutes because he is the backup now, but it's the Knicks, so it's a terrific matchup. This is a guy that also can get you steals, and he's actually shown, like, I believe triple-double upside in the past years. Obviously he's probably not going to do that obviously here because he's a backup and it's the Magic. He's no longer on the Bulls, but if he gets you like minutes and if it turns on a blowout, he's going to get extra run, so you can definitely do worse than Jerry Grant. If you're really looking down for an extreme value play, I think Jerry Grant is your guy. For forwards, there's not a whole lot for small forwards, but for power forwards, I think you can look at Jeremy Grant, 4.6K. He's going to probably be playing a little bit less because of Markieff Morris joining the team. As you can see, 20 minutes last time. But 4.6K in a matchup like this where he's the better defender compared to Markieff. He shot 2 of 9 last game, and he's going to be needed for defense. And he's a guy that can play massive minutes. Obviously, it depends if OKC wants to do that now that they have Markieff. But this is a good, price tag for a guy like Jeremy Grant, who has been priced into the 5s. And we know the upside. We've seen it, 30 plus. 4.6K, you can definitely do much worse. I really like this play as well. Not a core play, but just somebody that you should definitely take a look at. And then Markieff Morris, 4K. Maybe he gets a few extra minutes here because he's just getting back in the system with the team, with the new team. So maybe this is the kind of timeshare that we're gonna see between Jeremy Grant and Markieff Morris. But he's only 4K, and he's gonna be with the second unit here with Dennis Schroeder. It's really just him and Schroeder that are gonna be running the second unit because OKC doesn't really stagger Westbrook and George other than like the 1 or 2 minutes in the second and fourth quarters when like one checks in earlier a little bit. So it's pretty much gonna be Schroeder and Morris getting the usage of the second unit. So I really like that, and you never know. Jeremy Grant, he had an injury recently, and also if he gets into foul trouble against like Millsap or Jokic, Morris is going to be put into a lot more playing time. So, if you're looking for something crazy like that, Markieff Morris, not Marcus. Markieff here is a guy that I like. And then centers, Jokic, as I mentioned earlier, 10K. Seems a little bit underpriced actually for the kind of upside we all know that he has, but it's just that I'd rather play Westbrook. And if you play Westbrook, it's going to be tough to fit in Jokic, because I really like Kyrie here. You can go Westbrook and Jokic, but I just think Kyrie is one of the best plays along with Westbrook. So I'm prioritize those two over Jokic, and it's easier to get like exposure to that game with just Millsap because you kind of know that OKC it's gonna come from Westbrook and Paul George, whereas or Boston too, it's gonna come from Kyrie. Whereas for Denver, you might have a game where you can just get Jamal Murray going off, or Will Barton and Paul Millsap instead of Jokic, something like that, because Denver is just really solid all around. They're so deep, so it makes sense for me to go to Westbrook and Kyrie. Vucevic, 9.6K, another great play, but it's only $400 difference as I mentioned earlier, so I prefer Jokic over Vucevic. And then Steven Adams is someone that I'm really interested into because he's 5.6K and the box score definitely is going to show you something that's kind of crazy. I think kind of like a crazy 20 and 14 game or something last time against Jokic, and I was watching that game. It was in December when a lot of the Nuggets players were out. I think like Millsap, Harris, and Barton were all out. It was just like him, Jokic, and Jamal Murray. And Steven Adams was just bullying Jokic, and it was also at Denver. So Steven Adams, he can definitely handle defending Jokic. He can handle like just offensively too. Like even though Adams is known for his defense, he took like 20 shots that game. He was just getting a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of easy putbacks, and he's not going to be popular at all on this slate. And this is the kind of play that you can definitely get or leverage the field on because he is so cheap. 5.6K, nobody's going to be on him. Everyone's going to go to Westbrook or Paul George here, but this is a play that you should definitely look at because Jokic is not a defensive threat at all, and Adams is a lot stronger and physical than Jokic, and he's cheap too compared to what he's been. And then another option, I'm not really going to be on Mitchell Robinson. He can easily get into foul trouble. He's going to defend like Vucevic maybe, depending on how the rotation goes. So I actually really like Noah Vonleh here as a GPP play. Anyone on the Knicks could totally just go wrong, but 4K for Vonleh, who got into foul trouble last game, who started for DeAndre. DeAndre's going to be out again. Well, he's doubtful, so he should be out. But he got into foul trouble last game, so he only played 18 minutes. Obviously, he's probably not going to play 30 minutes unless something crazy happens, but Luke Cornett, Mario Hezonja are not even in the rotation as of now. So it's really Vonleh, Mitchell Robinson, really running the center, and then Lance Thomas playing the 4 with a little bit of Kevin Knox sometimes. So they're pretty thin actually. Robinson gets into foul trouble a lot, and he's 5.4K now. Probably going to be a bit chalky too. So I think that's also what makes Steven Adams a great play because $200 more, you can leverage that. Adams is probably going to play a lot more minutes than Mitchell Robinson too. Vonleh should see 20 plus minutes, but we never know with the Knicks again. But he has tremendous upside. We've seen in the past, like this season, he can get you like 40 plus, and he's only 4K. It's definitely a play that, as I mentioned, totally filled with a bunch of risk, but 4K, you can definitely do worse than that. So for me, it's going to be Westbrook, Damian Dotson, Paul Millsap, Kyrie Irving as the 4 players that I really like on this slate. So I hope you guys do well on the slate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you really enjoyed the content here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.